What up, everybody? It's been a while, right? So, welcome back to another Thai Talk. I believe it's actually been at least a year, if not more, since my last video. So, bear with me today as I'm already saying a lot. As I push through the kinks of dusting this off after not doing this for a while. Okay, so we're back today to talk about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So I think first thing I have to talk about is really about how great of a movie experience going to see this film was. I just like the last time I was able to take college students from my job to go see the film. The first Black Panther, I took about 20, 25 guys, young men of color, to go see the film. And then this time I was able to take about 80 students of all gender to go see this film. I was able to get a private theater for us, and so it was a really great experience to watch this film with them and experience it for the first time. I'll be honest, I didn't know how I was gonna feel about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I am one of the people who was more so on the side of recasting T'Challa, solely for the reasons of I feel like there's a lot more stories within Marvel that could be told that T'Challa was central in. For instance, like we all would love to see, or I would love to see, his marriage to Storm from the comics. That relationship happened some way in the MCU, right? And y'all see my birds, my parakeets that I got, want to act up for my first video, but I'm gonna keep going, all right? So I was one of those people that I wanted to see that. I felt like there was so much story that could be told. And even though I don't think I was in a place that was like, let's recast T'Challa now. In this film, we need a new T'Challa. I didn't want them to kill the character. But none of my, I don't think that swayed how I viewed the film. I was able to go in and enjoy the story that they told. I think I really, I muted the words, muted Wakanda Forever, Black Panther, and everything on my timeline for like the 3 weeks up until the movie came out. The 3 weeks before the movie came out, I didn't watch any reviews of the people that I normally watch before I did this review. So I really wanted to come in it with a fresh perspective. I have now seen the movie twice. I waited a week in between my first viewing to see if I was going to go back and have kind of the same emotions or the same feelings that I had when I came out the first time. And I must say that this film was beautifully made, right? The costumes, oh my God, the costumes were excellent. I think the scenery and the scenes, the cinematography, particularly I think some of those shots on the beach of the Key on the beach, Queen Ramonda on the beach, even Shuri's scene at the end, I just think it was so beautiful. The way that they constructed the sets of Talokan and Wakanda looked really great. I can think about the fight scene on the bridge with Okoye, and I can't think of that guy's name now, but the warrior that she fought with a couple of times, after she knocked down the first three Talakans, and then they rose up, and then she fought that big guy. That was an incredible fight scene, and yeah, it was like living and dying with every punch in that scene. I think the conversations about grief and loss and mourning and resentment from that loss, losing belief from that loss was very powerful in this film. I think it was a very emotional film. I think about looking at Shuri and how it just started off with her praying to Bass about saving her brother, and then her dealing with losing faith, losing belief as she went on. She even said stuff like the Black Panther's a relic, really downplaying, telling her mom that those was concepts of her mind, all those type of things. And so those were really points that I think I could really resonate with, like the loss of belief and battling, losing faith and stuff like that. And I mean, even just from the get-go, like when they did that title sequence of Chadwick and T'Challa at the beginning of the film, like me and my 80 students, it was silence, complete silence as that came on. So this film was very emotional. Like you felt the emotional presence, the emotional weight, the emotional labor of this film. And I can only imagine as a viewer feeling that, what those actors, what that crew, what the director felt like filming this, if I felt like that. I think the acting was phenomenal. Angela Bassett, Queen, all things, like, oh my goodness, the scene when she demoted Okoye, I mean, that was amazing. Amazing. I don't want to mess up his name because I try to go listen to the pronunciation, but it's Tanach Herda, who played Namor. Yeah, his acting was amazing. You can talk about Letitia's as Shuri, except the only thing I might knock her for was the moments when she was supposed to be angry. I don't think I quite bought those. Specifically on the ship in the end, in the little flying plane on the end when she was fighting Namor. I don't know if I brought that anger. Denai is Okoye, which I always love. I feel like she always does the role. Riri Williams' character, Dominique Thorne, she did a really good job as well. And I'll be interested to see what her Disney Plus series is like. And then, of course, Lupita. Even the way Lupita turned around when Queen Ramonda said bonjour in Haiti when she first met her, like that shock in her face. I think, the way that she tackled speaking in the different languages in the film was amazing. The acting was phenomenal. I mean, some of the best acting this MCU has ever seen. So, the movie was beautiful. It was emotionally stirring, phenomenal acting. But there were two major things that I did not like, that I hated, honestly. So that first thing is, of course, for me, the way they wrote T'Challa's death in the manner that it mirrored what happened with Chadwick in real life. You know, they talked about that he died from this undisclosed disease. They never named it. They talked about he had been keeping it a secret and battled it on his own, and how by the time he asked for help, it was too late. And I just think, to me personally, that was in very poor taste. I do not think that T'Challa, the character's death, should have had any resemblance or relation to any way Chadwick actually passed away. So yeah, I just think that was in very poor taste. And even I think even if I go from a narrative perspective, I think it kind of goes against the medically advanced Wakanda that the first film showed us. So I was very much against that. And the number two thing, I think Queen Ramonda's death was pointless. I think that it was swept over very quickly in the movie. I mean, her funeral scene was very short. Shuri was in the lab working with Riri 4 minutes later. I think the entire third act of the film could have still happened if Queen Ramonda had not died. And so it makes me think, why did they decide to kill her then? And I've already brought this point up in several spaces with some friends, in some Facebook groups I'm in, and talking through text with some people. And, you know, some of the argument on the other side has been one for that Queen Ramonda's death is what motivated or pushed Shuri to take on the Black Panther mantle. And I might could see where that is coming from, but I also feel like that there were other things that happened in the movie that could have pushed Shuri towards the Black Panther mantle without losing her mom. Multiple times throughout this film, there were the words specifically Wakanda's protector, and the Black Panther being the protector of Wakanda was mentioned. I think Queen Ramonda said it in her speech in the scene to the UN. Shuri talked about it with Riri Williams when they were captured when they were in that cave, and was like, "Oh, it's not a Black Panther coming to save me," stuff like that. I think, you know, it was the elders in Wakanda were always mentioning like, "Oh, we don't have a Black Panther right now." So this point of the Black Panther being the protector of Wakanda was mentioned multiple times throughout the movie. And then when you add on the fact that Shuri, as the princess of Wakanda, and the fact that she even threw that title around when she was with Namor in the underwater cave after they had came and visit Talokan, and you know, and they was talking about Riri, and she was like, "As the princess of Wakanda, I cannot let you harm that child." I believe Namor coming to Wakanda and flooding it was enough. Coming and attacking their country was enough to make them go like, "Oh, Wakanda does need its protector. Wakanda does need a Black Panther. Yes, the Dora Milaje does a great job, but Wakanda still needs its Black Panther. And had they let Namor flood Wakanda in the way that he did in the comics, where it was like a tidal wave, and countless, I will even say this, countless Wakanda citizens had gotten hurt, that would have been enough to make Shuri need the Black Panther, to need her to become the Black Panther. She had already been working on the herb. I don't think Queen Ramonda had to die for that. And yes, you probably like, oh, you just said kill countless citizens. Yes, I did. Countless nameless citizens that we as the audience don't know, but still was powerful enough to move Shuri. Like if Wakanda was destroyed or was visibly damaged by Namor, that is enough without killing this character's only remaining family member. So that is my argument against her needing to die so Shuri can have the motivation to take on the Black Panther mantle. The other argument that I have seen most people give in defense of Queen Ramonda dying is that needed to happen for Shuri to grow up. And this one I may even have more issue with because even when you look at the film, no growth happened for Shuri after Ramonda died until after she had taken on the Black Panther mantle and she was deciding to kill Namor or not. Queen Ramonda being dead in that decision for Shuri, Queen Ramonda being dead didn't impact that decision for Shuri to not kill him. And I want to be, because it was Queen Ramonda's words to show him who you are. So if that battle cry from her mom was enough, would it not have been enough if she was alive? And I think the other side that I have issue with that is, why would Queen Ramonda's death be the death to move Shuri to grow, to believe again, to have faith again, when this character, Shuri, has already experienced the death of 2 other family members? She's already lost her dad, King T'Chaka. She's also lost her brother, King T'Challa. So if there was no growth for her from those deaths, why would the death of her mother lead her to grow? I just think that as a motivation for her to grow, that makes no sense if she didn't move in other places. And I feel like the film even confirms that, because at the end of the movie, Shuri went to Haiti and she was performing a ritual that her mom taught her about. What memories did she think about when she burned those funeral garments? She only thought about T'Challa. She wasn't thinking about Ramonda. So it was like, even at the end of the film, after everything has done, the death that she still needs to reconcile with is T'Challa's. So why is Queen Ramonda dead if that's not impacting Shuri by the end of the movie? Yeah, I think that was just, this movie didn't need two funerals in the same family. It didn't. And I believe that death as a motivation, particularly for a character who has already experienced the death of family members multiple times, is weak writing. I think that was a weak writing point in this film, if that's the motivation for Queen Ramonda dying. Yeah. And I'm still very mad. I'm still very mad about Queen Ramonda dying. I was hoping, I wanted to watch this film again before I did my review, because I was like, I wonder if a second viewing, would I see something else in the movie or anything like that that would kind of like change my perspective. But no, she died for no reason. Everything that happened in that third act, every single thing from Shuri making the damn, I can't even think of the name. The purple herb. I can't even think of the name right now. I think it's something herb, purple heart herb, to to the plan to be able to defeat Namor, to the motivation to even go back to Namor after he said, I'll be back in a week. All of that could have still happened and Queen Ramonda be alive. Even the decision to not kill Namor could have still happened with Queen Ramonda alive. The entire third act could have still happened without her, with her being alive. So for me, if that's the case, that means she died for nothing. Yeah. And before anybody say anything, because I've heard some people say, oh, well, Angela Bassett does have a TV show, 911. She's working a lot. Marvel has to take precedent over other things that can have an interfere. I read an article where Angela Bassett was shocked and did not agree with her character's death, and was even told Ryan Coogler, like, the people are going to be upset about this. So it's not her. It's not her wanting to lead the franchise. Yeah, I think that's enough. I could go into some minor things, particularly, I think, the white characters got too much time. Why, after Ross told Okoye and Shuri that it was Riri Williams who made the machine, we didn't have to see him no more. But we kept seeing him. We kept seeing Dave Fontaine or whatever her name is. And that was all set up. We didn't need that in this movie. We didn't need it. We didn't need that. I could complain about Shuri out combating a 500-year-old warrior that's been around since the 1500s. I could complain about Namor threatening to kill Riri the whole movie, but never doing it when she was in his grasp, in his hands to do it the whole time. I could talk about Wakanda not being smart, which goes against the first movie, because why are you going to fight? Why are you going to fight the Telecons in the middle of the water with no way to fly away? Or something. Yeah. The two big things that really hurt me was having T'Challa's death mirror Chadwick's, and the killing of Queen Ramonda. I I don't think that last one. I just don't think I'm ever gonna get over because it's like that. This Black Panther has had 2 movies and the whole family dead, except Shuri. Like I can't get over that. I can't get over that. In the end, I think this was still a very well done movie. I don't think it's gonna be a movie that I watch multiple times like I did the original Black Panther, mostly because it's very emotionally heavy at times. But yeah, Angela Bassett deserves all the awards. I know comic book portrayals don't get acting nominations a lot, but Angela Bassett deserves. She deserves. She deserves. So yeah, that is my talk on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Hopefully it won't be another year before I give y'all another video. I would love if y'all can leave down in the comments your thoughts. Did you enjoy the movie? What did you love about it? Do you think I'm wild for my 2 big disagreements that I didn't like? Yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I know I have not been making a lot of content. My reason for it is because I have another responsibility outside of work that takes up a lot of my time. I probably should be doing something for that right now, but I'm not. Because I just had to film this. So I'm not sure how many videos I'm gonna be able to make for the next couple of years. We'll see what happens. Funny enough, I have about 3 TED Talks that were filmed, maybe even 4, that have been filmed in the last year since my last video, but I never edited them and uploaded them. So for one in particular, I definitely think I'm a work on it and upload it at some point because I really enjoyed that topic. But outside of that, I'm always tweeting about what I watch. So if you follow me on Twitter, even though I don't know how long Twitter gonna last, with what old boy got going on. If you follow me on Twitter, you can see what I'm talking about or what I'm watching. Because I usually live tweet what I'm watching. So right now, of course, I am watching the last season of Queen Sugar, which I might do a video for that actually because Queen Sugar is so phenomenal. I am watching The Crown, the latest season of The Crown, season 5. That's pretty much what's going on with me, what I've been watching. Thank y'all for rocking with me. And hopefully y'all enjoyed me dabbling back in Talk videos today. So until next time, appreciate y'all.